Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a special treat for you. Now, it's not exactly a sovereign citizen talking back to a police officer. However, it is going to be a sovereign citizen talking about the law. So, it should be fun for you guys. It was a little bit migraine inducing for me. Let's just get right into the video.
Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is sovereignty. We're going to be talking about common law, and real law, okay, and color of law. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, and you're going to see that we're all a nation of kings and queens, and this is what the courts are saying. And that most of the laws, or so-called laws, are really color of law, and it's in their own statutes. They know that it's color of law, and we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about what the courts are saying, and the whole nine yards. Anyway, so we're talking about sovereignty. This is a presentation on sovereignty, and do you know who you are? Think about that. So, do you know who you are? What is a sovereign? These are all things we're going to be talking about today. What is a sovereign? Who is a sovereign? Where does sovereignty come from? And the rights and duties of sovereignty, and how you can lose your sovereignty, and how you can get it back. So, what is a sovereign? Sovereignty is the right to rule. And this is what the courts are saying. Sovereign can be a king or a queen. A sovereign can be a group of people. A sovereign can be a living soul. This is a U.S. court case. Sovereignty is the right to govern. A nation or state sovereign is the person or persons in whom that resides.
So, I looked into the court case. I'm going to tell you the guy actually did win, but the reason why he won is because Georgia didn't show up for the court. It claimed it was a sovereign state. And right now you're probably asking, well, when did this happen? It was in 1793. Yes, this guy is quoting a court case that happened 226 years ago.
For the very idea that one may be compelled to hold his life or the means of living or any material right essential to the enjoyment of life at the mere will of another seems to be intolerable in any free country where the freedom prevails as being the essence of slavery itself.
I love how he just cherry picks things from cases that are as old as a Benz patent motor car. Because this case was also from 1886. And it wasn't about whatever this dude is talking about. It was about, for some reason, carrying laundry within the corporate limits of the city of San Francisco. Yes, this was a big problem at the time, apparently. No one wanted to see the shit stains on your underpants.
And if you think about that, if you are forced to pay anybody anything, then you're essentially a slave for what you have to pay them. And so then, do you know who you are? Are you free or are you a slave? And that's what they're essentially saying in this court case, okay? For the very idea that one may be compelled to hold a life or the means of living or any material right essentially to the enjoyment of life, okay? Isn't, your ability to make money a material right essential to the enjoyment of life? What they're saying is it's being intolerable in any free country where freedom prevails as being the essence of slavery itself. And that is so true. And what's happened is we have all been set up for slavery, essentially. But it's because of our own ignorance of the law. Anyway, so who are the sovereigns? In a monarchy, the king or the queen is sovereign. In a common law country, the sovereigns are the people. And here's a court case. The words people of the United States and citizens are synonymous terms and mean the same thing. They both describe the political body who, according to our republican institutions, form the sovereignty and who hold the power and conduct the government through their representatives. They are what we familiarly call the sovereign people. And every citizen is one of this people and a constituent member of the sovereignty.
This guy needs to stop cherry picking from old court cases. This case was back in 1856, and as y'all should know, Law is always changing. But this case was about, unfortunately, how African Americans that were sold as slaves are not U.S. citizens. I have absolutely no idea where the hell this guy is getting his BS from. Maybe you guys know. Put it down in the comments if you do.
So then we the people in America are sovereigns, but that's because of common law. And there's court cases in common law countries all over the world that talk like this. This is a Canadian court case. The sovereign people, through their representatives, have created the court and the board as well as the municipal council and have defined the rights and duties of each. That's in reference Casa Loma, which is in downtown Toronto.
We are not in Canada. If you're going to talk about how sovereign citizens are right and how everyone is a sovereign citizen in the United States, please stick to the United States. We do not control Canada in the least. Their laws are way different than our laws.
So, we the people are kings and queens. I've seen Australian court cases that talk about this. I mean, and I believe that if you do search in any common law country, you're going to find court cases that talk like this. The people are sovereign, are not bound by general words and statutes restrictive of prerogative right. Now, this prerogative right is something to keep in mind. That's a word, or a set of words, and one of the things we're going to be talking about is certain words that we need to keep in mind. Okay, certain words that are used against us, and that we can use against our public servants. So, anyways, restrictive of prerogative right, title, or interest, unless expressly named. Acts of limitation do not bind the king or the people. The people have been ceded all the rights of the king, the former sovereign. It is a maxim of common law that when an act is made for the common good to prevent injury, the king should be bound, though not named. But when a statute is general and prerogative right would be divested or taken from the king, he shall not be bound. Okay.
So, I couldn't find this court case. If you guys want to do some research and link me it in the comments, I'd be more than happy to look at it because I couldn't find it.
So, a couple things this thing says. It says the people have been ceded all the rights of the king. Okay, and this is not the only court case that talks like this, I'm telling you. There's lots of them that talk like this. And so, we are kings and queens. That's exactly what we are. And you don't know who you are. And essentially what's happening is you have a bunch of pirates.
Are you saying the government are pirates here to steal our booty? Because I ain't got no booty, man. I'm going to tell you that now. I can't pay them if I ain't got nothing, man. Help me. Help me by shutting the hell up, please.
Telling you who you are. And are you going to sit there and let someone tell you who you are? I know I'm not.
That is not the end of the video. I'm going to put a link down in the description if you want to check out this video, this full video. It's in 7 parts. It's like long. It's long. And he talks about this stuff, and I'm actually surprised. There's a bunch of just sovereign citizens that follow this guy. I think this was posted back in 2011. But man, it's bad. It's bad. Anyways, thanks for watching me and listening to me. Appreciate it. You guys have a good day. See you later.